Week 3 has been the hardest week so far, and this is why. I have almost given up on this challenge quite a few times already. Welcome to week 3 of the summer series. Happy Tuesday. I just got back from therapy and I'm all up in my feels, but I said I was going to record this intro somewhere pretty, so I came outside because I didn't leave the house once yesterday, and that is dangerous. It is the opposite of what we're supposed to be doing on this summer journey. So let's enjoy some fresh air together. Honestly, this is so much cooler. And it's shadier, it's less windy. And we got a whole slew of... slew of motorcycle boys. I just wanted to talk a little bit about some of the struggles that I've been kind of going through on this journey and talk about how the journey's been going so far. So far, it's week 3. I've had so much fun forcing myself to do the things that I want to do, because genuinely sometimes you have to force yourself. Do you hear these birds? Throughout this challenge, I've really had to force myself to do some of the things that I wanted to do. And that's because, again, I didn't really have the energy to do it. But when you force yourself, you kind of have no choice but to find the energy. It's like when you have to go to work. You don't want to go to work, you don't have the energy to go to work, but you're scheduled to go to work, so you have to go to work. You have to pay your bills, so you'll be there. You know you will. And it's been very similar for me in the regard of like, okay, well, now I'm my own parent. I have to set the bedtime and dinner time and homework time, and I'm my own boss, and I need to tell myself when it's time to clock in, and I need to tell myself, what my to-dos are for the day. So anyways, finding the energy. What a trip. It's not easy, but I do deserve the things that I want, and I can't get them unless I work for them. So this is the effort we must put in. I think some of my biggest challenges have been just getting up and going. That has actually been my number one biggest challenge, is just doing the thing. I just needed to start. That said, it hasn't been easy to force myself every day. Yesterday, I didn't want to do anything. I didn't leave the house once, and I felt miserable at the start of the day, so I let that misery kind of carry me through the day, and I didn't really bother to try changing it. And again, it's okay to sit in the suck sometimes. It's kind of part of the process, but yeah, I don't know. I didn't want to sit in the suck too long. So week 3 is all about allowing yourself a little rest day, and getting back up on that horse, babe. Okay, darling? Let's go do some fun shit, because we promised ourselves we would. So far, so wonderful. How are you doing? Yes, yeah, a lot more fiber. Okay. I just finished meal prepping some things for the weekend. That way I don't have to worry about what I'm eating this week. Let me flip this. Some chopped up, what is this? Cucumber, and then like a cucumber salad thing that has red onions, garlic chili oil. So getting ready for a girl's dance. This one only goes like Yeah, one day I'm gonna be a real life vlogger, and people are gonna just pay me to do this.
Manifesting.
That's manifesting. Look it up.
Really? Yeah, I was gonna say, should we go get? I know. I'm already gonna have another one.
You just throw it on the heat and let it cook the meat. Yeah, it's already greased up, I believe.
Okay, we finished this quarter.
These girls can eat.
Yes! To a girls' day.
Love it.
That's so cute. How cute! Wait, do I need flowers for the house? I think I might. You get to pick a little wine charm.
No, he's funny. He's funny. He's the comedic relief. I would hate to be his girlfriend.
It's early. I just woke up, but I've been trying to make a habit of reading a chapter of one of my books first thing in the morning. I haven't had to use my voice yet. Oh my gosh. So anyways, the two books I said I was reading are The 5 People You Meet in Heaven and 101 Essays That'll Change the Way You Think. So Eddie's dead, he's in heaven, he's meeting a bunch of people. And one of the people that he meets is his captain from when he was in war times, whatever. And there's a part in the book where the captain says to him, "Time is not what you think. Dying, not the end of everything. We think it is, but what happens on Earth is only the beginning." He says, "I figure it's like in the Bible, Adam and Eve. Adam's first night on Earth, when he lays down to sleep, he thinks it's all over. He doesn't know what sleep is. His eyes are closing and he thinks he's leaving this world. Only he isn't. He wakes up the next morning and he has a fresh new world to work with, but he has something else too. He has his yesterdays. The way I see it, that's what we're getting here. That's what heaven is. You get to make sense of your yesterdays." I thought that was really beautiful. This one I feel like really requires a good bit of processing, and I've been taking notes and sitting with each chapter for a little bit, so I've been taking a lot longer to get through this one, even though it is such a small book. It does definitely take some processing. And I know that it might seem very religious facing, religious forward. You know, the 5 people you meet in heaven, it talks about Adam and Eve and God and all that, but I've done a lot of my religious healing work, so I'm not really offended by anyone's God. So if you're not offended by the G word or by the talks of heaven and hell, I think this could be a real eye-opener. And it's not a book about God. So this guy. I thought that some of these really stood out to me for the sake of the self-discovery part of this journey, you know? And then this morning I decided to read chapter 10 or essay 10, Breaking Your Upper Limit and How People Hold Themselves Back from Real Happiness. And it leads with, "Most people don't want to be happy, which is why they aren't. They just don't realize that this is the case. Nobody wants to believe that happiness is a choice because that puts responsibility in their own hands. Because then it really does put the responsibility in my own hands. Then I have to be responsible for picking myself back up and dusting myself off and trying again and trying to grow forward and be better and basically being responsible for finding that happiness." This is a lot to process first thing in the morning, let me just say. But this is why I've been doing it, because it really starts my day. I don't know, gets me thinking about like how I do want to move forward in my days. Moral of the story, point of the journey, pick up a book, read something that's going to make you think, make you feel, make you ponder. These guys have been doing it for me lately. Hi. It's much, much later. I'm showered. It's coming to be the end of the night and therefore the end of this week series. As I have gone on and on about, this week has just been very energetically exhausting for me. I feel kind of burnt out, and I have tried to fill my cup by doing fun stuff, and don't get me wrong, it has definitely filled my cup. I definitely feel a lot lighter, a lot happier, but I don't know. I have been a lot more intentional and introspective this week, and I've also just kind of realized some of the blocks that have come up for me have just been really pushing myself to do honestly anything. Lately, I'm finding that my inner child wants to lay around and do nothing a lot of the time, and sometimes that's healing, and sometimes that's rest, and sometimes it's genuine fear of being seen trying or fear of failing. And in those instances, I kind of have to be the parent and remind myself that we just got to keep on keeping on. It's not necessarily succeeding that's always the point. It's what we gain along the way. Cheesy as that might sound, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. Yeah, this week has brought up a lot for me, and I'm very grateful for everything that it has brought up. I'm very grateful for all the fun I've had, and I'm also really grateful for all of the sucky parts, the parts that require a little bit of work. I'm very happy with myself for doing all the things I said I was going to do. I'm very tired, but I feel very accomplished, very proud. And I'm excited for next week, because next week is not only the last week of the series, but it's also my birthday week. So I'm going to take myself out on a fancy little summer solo date. I'm going to get all dressed up. We're going to have a scrapbook review, because I got a bunch of prints in and film back. So I'm excited to flip through some of that together. Yeah. Until next week. Love you.